A long time ago, during a big war called World War II, the Soviet Union tried to take over Finland while other countries were busy fighting. But Finland had a hero named Simo Häyhä. He was an amazing sniper who helped protect his country. People say he stopped 505 enemy soldiers, which means he might be the best sniper ever in history. Have you ever heard of Simo Häyhä? He was an amazing sharpshooter, and his story is really cool. Before we dive into it, don't forget to subscribe to the Shaping History channel. Simo would definitely want you to do that. Let's talk about an amazing sniper. The Soviet soldiers were absolutely scared of a Finnish sniper named Häyhä. Imagine walking through the snowy Finnish wilderness, knowing that Häyhä could be hiding somewhere, ready to take a perfect long-distance shot. The soldiers were so frightened, they gave him a nickname, DEADLIEST, which means White Death in Russian. Pretty intense, right? Häyhä's friends in the Finnish army didn't call him White Death. They had a nicer nickname for him, Taika Empuja, which means magic shooter. That's a pretty cool name, and it fits because Häyhä was an amazing shot. But let's be honest, it doesn't sound as scary as White Death. People don't agree on exactly how many enemies Simo took down with his sniper rifle. Some say he got as many as 542, but everyone agrees it was at least 505. That's a lot. This makes Simo the best sniper in any war. The next best? A Soviet sniper named Ivan Sidorenko, who had 500 kills. Did you know Häyhä might have taken out even more enemies than people think? He didn't just stay far away with his sniper rifle the whole time. Some say he also used a submachine gun to take down hundreds of enemies up close. If that's true, his total could be around 800. Wow, Simo, that's a crazy big number. You're so good at what you do, it's kind of amazing. The Winter War only lasted one winter, just like its name says, so Häyhä must have been working super hard the whole time. Simo Häyhä was one of the best snipers ever. During the war, he set an incredible record. On average, he took out about 5 or 6 enemy soldiers every single day, but some days were even crazier. One day, he got 40 enemies in just one day. On 2 other days, he got 25 and 20. That's a lot of people. Simo was from Finland, and he was so good at his job that he went from being a corporal to a second lieutenant. That's the biggest promotion jump ever in Finland's military. The coolest part? He didn't even use a fancy scope to aim. He used the simple iron sights on his rifle and still became a legend. How awesome is that? This guy was the ultimate tough guy, old school style. But he wasn't just cool. He had a smart reason for what he did. Häyhä didn't use a scope on his rifle because he knew it could make him a target. Scopes could catch sunlight and shine, which made it easier for enemies to spot snipers. Without a scope, Häyhä could see enemy snipers before they noticed him. Pretty smart, right? Oh, and back then, everyone in Finland had to do 1 year of military service. Simo Häyhä didn't have a lot of military training. He learned some basic stuff way back in 1925, which was a long time before the big war. That was pretty much it for his army experience. After that, he joined something called the Finnish Civil Guard, kind of like a group of part-time soldiers like the US National Guard. Most of the time, Simo was just a regular guy who liked hunting and working on his farm. He lived a quiet, simple life. But in 1939, when the Soviets invaded his country, he was called to join the army again. If Simo was as good at hunting animals as he was at fighting in the war, we're pretty sure even the deer in his town were scared of him. Oh, and after finishing his military service in 1925, he bought his very own rifle. It wasn't fancy, just a simple bolt-action gun, but you'd be surprised how much he could do with it. He got a rifle and spent years practicing with it until he was really good. When the Winter War started, Häyhä went back to fight and brought his old bolt-action rifle with him. He didn't want a newer rifle with fancy sights. The freezing cold, sometimes as low as -20 to -40 degrees, made a lot of the other soldiers' guns stop working. But Häyhä kept going. Simo Häyhä really knew how to take care of his rifle, even in the freezing cold of winter. He didn't start off as a super sharpshooter, though. He practiced a lot to get that good. He grew up near a shooting range where they held contests every year, and that's where he learned how to shoot so well. Simo loved entering shooting contests and won so many trophies that his house was packed with them. He got so good with his rifle that he could hit a target 16 times in 1 minute from 500 feet away. Sounds like something out of a superhero story, right? Later on, Simo was sent to the Kola battlefield with 31 other soldiers. Their mission? stop 4,000 Soviet troops from getting through. Pretty amazing, huh? Even though Häyhä's team had way fewer people than a college football team, they still held their ground all winter long. Talk about some awesome defense! Häyhä and his fellow Finns had a few tricks up their sleeves, besides him being an amazing sniper. The Soviet soldiers made a big mistake. They wore bright green uniforms that made them stick out like Christmas trees in the snow. On top of that, they didn't have good leaders to guide them, because Stalin had gotten rid of most of the officers during a big purge to remove anyone he thought might challenge him. Even though the Soviets technically won and took some land near the border, they didn't get much and left most of Finland untouched. The Winter War was really tough for the Soviets. They lost almost 400,000 soldiers, while Finland lost about 66,000. Most snipers like to lie on their stomachs when they shoot, so it's harder for enemies to hit them. But Simo Häyhä liked to sit instead because he thought it helped him aim better. He had some super smart tricks to stay hidden. He wasn't very tall, just a little over 5 feet, so he didn't have to worry much about being an easy target. He used to hide in snowbanks and even put snow in his mouth so nobody could see his breath in the cold air. To stay extra sneaky, he packed snow around the tip of his rifle or poured water on it to freeze, so no smoke would come out when he fired. Instead of aiming for the head like most snipers, he aimed for the middle of the body, which worked great in battle, even if it wouldn't get him extra points in a video game. The Soviet soldiers were really mad because he kept taking out their men. They couldn't figure out how to stop him. They even tried blasting the area where they thought he was hiding with a ton of artillery, but that didn't work. Then, they sent their own snipers to hunt him down, but Simo was way better. He took care of those snipers like it was no big deal. Pretty amazing, right? One day, a Soviet sniper managed to hit Häyhä in the jaw with a special exploding bullet. It was a really bad injury. One friend even said it looked like half his head was gone. But Häyhä was so tough, he didn't give up. After a lot of surgeries to fix his face, he finally woke up, just one day after the Winter War was over. After the war, Simo went back to living a simple life. He loved hunting and farming, and in 1961, the Finnish government gave him his own farm, probably as a way to say thank you for all he did during the war, and maybe to stay on his good side. Later in life, in 1970, he moved to a small apartment where he lived quietly and peacefully. Simo lived a long, full life and passed away in 2002 at 96 years old. He even lived long enough to see boy bands like NSYNC become super popular. How's that for an incredible life story? Known as the White Death, Simo went from being a simple farmer to one of the most effective snipers ever. After the war, he lived the rest of his life calmly, far away from the battlefield. What do you think about his incredible story? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out more cool history stories.